Victory. We are locally here in Orlando. We do immigration and real estate law. And apart being doing this over 20 years, I'm also passionate just educating the community. That's how I reached out to Srinigaru that there's a lot of things are happening. The hour of the topic right now is on the F1 visas, SEVI's termination. So we do want to discuss on that as the conversation today. And a lot of you know already our firm. If you don't know, just get your website or CFIC has that information. Happy to help you with the services we can able to do it. But this particular session right now, it's not about the business. It's just about educating the community what's happening. And it's alarming in last 72 hours how many hundreds and thousands of the students got the F1 visa revoked and SEVIs terminated, right? So there is a lot of trends developed in last 72 hours. I wanted to just to give a brief about what exactly happening. So it's all started mostly 90% of these things are happened on Thursday, which is on the April the 3rd. And so the emails are either getting from the school directly saying that service is terminated, or the emails are getting from the SAVP, which is the part of the ICE, Department of Homeland Security, or emails also getting from the consulates, which where you initially got the student visa. So some of them getting all three of them, some of them getting one of those. And some of them, schools are not even aware that your service is terminated, but you're getting emails from the consulate or from the SCBP. So who are getting these terminations? So why is happening everything at one time, right? As you probably all watching the news, this is, even though it's a shocking, all happened within few hours, or surprisingly, we have received over 60 calls in last 24 hours. All those calls, all those terminated are within the range of few minutes. So it's like a hit of button, right? Hit of a button, hundreds and thousands of the people got terminated. So it's so surprising to see that how this all happening. I will tell you the developments happened. So in the beginning, when it started happening one or two, everybody thinking that okay, there was a mistake in particular student, or this is happening to one, two, or maybe 10 of them randomly, right? And then once it's developing, it's hundreds and thousands of the people. The common thing what we are seeing with all of those terminations are somehow they are under the either they it's not about the conviction. I just wanted to give briefly about little bit about criminal law here. Having the charges versus the conviction is so different. I want to start telling that almost everybody has some kind of the charges. Okay, this is very clear. Don't come to the conclusion just because they have a charges, they're not guilty or they're not convicted. Okay, so most of those charges are dismissed. So they have charges. Somebody can. Yeah, Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Please mute yourself.
Okay. So once you have a charges, it doesn't mean that you actually did the crime. Okay. And most of these crimes or the charges are not really convicted. That means that you're not proven that you did something wrong. And a lot of them are got dismissed. So what's surprising even for the attorneys is those charges which got dismissed, still the students are getting the service terminated. It's shocking right now. And a lot of those charges or even the convictions are not inadmissible for the sake of getting a visa. Okay. And especially when somebody is already in the country, they don't need a visa. They already have the visa. Even if you have the visa revoked, you could able to stay here if the service is active. But what's happening is not just the visa is revoked, which is where the email started. Now the service is also terminated. So when it's all started developing on Thursday, when the people have started reaching out to the attorneys like us, we thought that, or even the school told them that they're going to give a new I-20 with a reinstatement on it. So if somehow there's a lot of reasons service can terminate it. Okay, I want to start from there. Service can be terminated if you don't maintain your coursework, if you don't pay your fee, your lot of reasons, natural disasters, if you couldn't able to do a lot of things for the to finish that program. So there's a lot of 100 reasons for the termination, and there's a last one in the service termination, which is for other reasons. That's what where all these things are happening right now. Every single person have the reason for the service termination right now is for the criminal check. So what is the criminal check? Then we'll look at it. We started looking at the charges for the DUI, domestic violence, felony, a lot of misdemeanors. And from there, right now, by the end of the Thursday or Friday morning, we started seeing Sevis got terminated for the charges like littering ticket, right? Or not paying for the parking ticket, not or even if you paid for the speeding ticket, you still got the service termination. That is what where it's alarming. Or they're not only looking for the big charges, they're also looking as small as speeding ticket. So the question now is, what are the options available? Or it's only increasing every day. How many of these are getting terminated? So that's what it's alarming right now. So the options are almost none to less at this point. Okay, we'll start with the option. If you decided to leave the country, feel free to do so. Nobody is going to stop you. Okay, but if you do want to stay back, you do have to know that the minute like the minute you got the service terminated, you are unlawfully staying here. There is no 30 days, no 60 days. Oh, it is always there for all the non-immigrant visas. Not for the service termination, not for the F1. I'm going to tell you very clearly on this. From the day one, the minute you got the service termination, you're occurring unlawful presence. It's very important to know this thing, because in case if you're ever trying to come back, or if you're trying to change your status, or if you wanted to come back on the F1, H1, or as a dependent or anything in the future, it's important to know that the only way it can go away is if you are getting a permanent residency through US citizen or something else. We don't want to get there right now, but that's an option. But mostly, like everybody, either stay here or go back. If you do want to stay here, what are the options we have? The options are very less. We started telling on Thursday that you can get a reinstatement or you can do the change of status. But by Thursday evening or Friday morning, all the schools who told that they're going to give the I-20 reinstatement all backed off. Almost every single school got backed off. On Thursday morning, even the schools are not aware of this sweep is happening, right? They are thinking that one or two got these kind of the things. They're so used up. Most of the schools are so used up giving the I-20 reinstatement for other reasons. When they start seeing that this is happening, hundreds of them, they stop doing that, or they may have a pressure for other things. I don't know. I don't want to get in any of the politics right now. I only want to tell you what's happening, what we are seeing in the office, what we want to tell to the general population, how they have to be prepared for this. So everybody, almost every school stopped giving the I-20 reinstatement. The options got very less from reinstatement to the change of status. Now we only have the change of status, and you always have an option to leave the country. That's your choice. So if you do want to stay and want to do the change of status, like let's say your spouse is on H1B, or there may be on the other F1, you want to become a F2 or H4, or you don't have anything, but you think that you needed time to stay back and wrap up everything, right? B2 is one of the option. So even for any of this change of status, not just filling up the form, sending out, you also have to write a reason. It's called non-pro-tunc, telling that why you have to suddenly change, and you have to do it immediately, this change of status. Every day you don't do it, you're occurring unlawful presence, and you once you reach 180 days, as probably most of you know, that you're getting a 3-year ban. That means that in 3 years you can't come back, even with other status also, unless you have a waiver. Okay, so unless you have the waiver, to get a waiver, it's not a straightforward thing. And waiver itself is a long process and it could take a long time, and you have to show a lot of ties and you have to show your good moral character. So waiver is a long process. A lot of people say that it's okay, we'll get a waiver, nothing. Like, waiver itself is a long process. And we are trying to help the community and educate the community, not even get there where you have to get to that 3-year ban. If you can't, just leave. If you can't leave, if you wanted to stay back and try to see that if you needed time to pack up, or if you think that this will be resolved through the lawsuits or something, then you can get your F1 back. If you wanted to stay, just do it immediately, change of status, and try to get something on. And that too, any change of status, you have to request the non-proton, telling that it is not under your limits how you lost the service, and you do need a time to prepare or change the status. So the only option right now is do the change of status or leave. If you do want to do the change of status, I also want to caution all of you, okay? Change of status is, you can apply and you get the receipt. It doesn't get approved right away. It takes time, okay? And again, the SCVP who issued the service and the person who is issuing the change of status is all under the same Department of Homeland Security. How are they going to take one on the other? How the adverse effect is there? We have to yet see that one. But at least by the time you prepare for all this, you have a time. You need to maintain your status, not to get the unlawful presence. So you do have to do that. Either way and any way, right? Even if you're planning to leave or if you want to stay here, a change of status, always be prepared that there will be somebody who will probably show up at your door, ICE, okay? Or you may be occurring some things at the airport, the CBP. There is people who could stop you at the on the road, at home, at work. There's a lot of things could happen. You always have to remember that if something happens like that, there may be chances of getting the deportation orders, removal proceedings. That's all into the different thing. So nothing is guaranteed at this point, but what is concerning, what I really hope, that there will be a lot of lawsuits. Obviously, a lot of students don't have money to do these things, but we are really hoping that a lot of nonprofits get into it as a plaintiffs and do as a class action to get to see that it's not all the charges are inadmissible. So we're trying to see that if there is any way for the students who got dismissed, who got almost like a speeding ticket, who is not going to be under the radar for the inadmissible for the visa revocation, is there any possibility for them to stay back? It is very, very too early, way too early to think or to say that there may be some hope. I really, really hope that there will be. There are a lot of conversations happening. There's a lot of people who are trying to file the lawsuits, but nothing yet happened. Obviously, if there's something happen, I'll post it in the group. And if positive outcomes come, if somebody who's already in the change of status thing, hopefully they can get back on the F1. But don't really know, that it's way too early to do it. But the question and the worrisome for a lot of the community is, what can we do in the meantime? Again, I'm repeating it. Don't feel like I'm constantly repeating the same thing. The options are almost nothing to less. So it's important, if you do want to come back, to protect your status. I really urge on that. So I think that we spoke at different charges, what's happening and what are the recent developments happening on the F1. If any questions on the F1 before I move to the different subject, what's happening at the airport and the green cars?
F1 పాతూరిలా అని వీళ్ళు అప్లోడ్ మెసేజ్ పెడుతున్నారు.
అదే చెప్తారా?
అదే గ్రూప్ లో పెడుతున్నారు ఏమన్నా క్వశ్చన్ ఇమిగ్రేషన్.
Bro, could you please mute it?
Okay, I don't. Oh, okay, there's one question on the F1. So one thing I do want to tell you, right, I might have mentioned this one, the minute you got the service termination, obviously you don't have any status. Even if you have the OPT, it doesn't mean anything. You're going to be stopping immediately working, immediately going to the school. Okay, I know there's a lot of people who are ready to graduate in May, okay, who are already in the OPT. There may be a lot of people who got already the H-1B selected and they're ready to change their status to the H-1B. And there's a lot of other options may be available, but immediate action is, do you want to stay or do you want to leave? If you want to stay, do the change of status as soon as possible on this hour. So there may be not a lot of students here, but you might have known somebody or hearing from somebody. If you can't spread any word, all I want you to spread the word is try to maintain the status if they want to stay here. If they don't want to stay here, just leave. And whenever you can, hopefully you could come back again. Okay. But unemployment benefits, somebody is asking, once you don't have any status, there is no unemployment benefits here.
Now.
No, I think my question actually was associated with a couple of scenarios, right? So I'll actually just maybe try to understand it better, right? So again, these are all related to the students that you mentioned. So assuming, right, that there have been students who have probably been, like, as you mentioned, right, that there have been speeding tickets which were waived off. So again, I think those are the examples, but there have been like cases wherein some of these students in the past probably, or some of the folks who actually were entitled to get unemployment benefits, they actually took it. So are we also seeing a pattern over here saying that, okay, there could probably be some types of frauds, right, that they are actually realizing?
I particularly in my law firm, we didn't see anything about particularly on the unemployment benefits. What I'm seeing is, I'll tell you the ranges of what I'm seeing. As I said that in the beginning, DUI, DV cases, aggravated felonies, to the shoplifting. I think that I'll tell in my law firm, at least consultations of all of them, at least 60 to 70% are shoplifting. Okay. And I see the littering and speeding tickets, not unemployment benefit particularly, ID thefts. Okay. Hopefully they're getting there because they already got into the obviously ID theft fraud, right? So I'm not really sure. Yes, on the protests, not particularly our Desi community, but I see other non-Indian who are involved in the protests got into the warnings. But our Indian kids, service termination is more all into the who got into the charges for particular crimes either might have done or not done. And the one similar pattern which I saw that from last 72 hours is almost everybody's charges are dismissed.
Ma'am, I do have a question. Actually,
Srinigara, are you opening the floor or are we going through the questions? I wanted to focus more on the F1. If you all stick into the F1 first, then we get on to the airports and the green cards. I know that that's alarming too right now. I really want to give support to the students as much as I can because they don't have much time. I want to extend that support to them.
Yes, please first start on F1. Then we will go to the order. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I'm in F1 visa right now. So I'm currently working. So I'm in OPT right now. So I got a charge around 2022 for petty theft, and it got closed. The case is completely closed right now. But currently, on Thursday, I received a mail your visa and immigration got terminated. So is there any service termination? It happened.
Yeah,
so is there
just
any
now
way,
whatever I
I'll
mentioned,
be...
do you have any question on what I mentioned regarding to the options?
Yeah, so you asked about the reinstatement. Currently I'm working, right? So what should I do? What should I inform to the employer?
Stop working right now.
Can I apply for currently I stopped working. I applied for a leaves, whatever I got. So I stopped the working thing. So I'm not sure what to do really.
Yeah, almost every student is in the same position what you are right now, right? So what you have to do now is, did you reach out to the school? Do they want to do the I-20 with a reinstatement?
I haven't, because I just got to know yesterday. I checked the mail yesterday only. So this is the weekend, right? So I'm not sure like whether how to ask. Also, I don't know like what to ask and all.
Right. You could ask in whatever you want. I mean that you can reach out to the DSO saying that, hey, I received an email saying that service is terminated. Can you check from your side that what's the status is? So almost every school is going to say that they're going to look at it. Yes, it got terminated. So the immediately what we are encouraging the students is ask them for the reinstatement, right? I-20 reinstatement, then we can apply for the reinstatement. A lot of schools who agreed to do it, they stopped doing it, but I don't know if your school can give it. Go ahead and do the reinstatement. If not, the minute you got the termination, even though you might have checked the email yesterday, but if you can look into it, your service probably terminated on Thursday. That means it's already been 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay? Because
yes.
either the people are aware or no. I'll tell you this one, they might have checked the emails later. This is a one switch button, guys. Everybody got terminated on Thursday.
That's true. Lot of.
So you already started occurring 4 days of unlawful presence. So you have an option now. Okay, obviously you're going to reach out to the DSO tomorrow and ask for the I-20 reinstatement. If they're going to give it, you're going to immediately tomorrow applying the reinstatement. Okay, and
yes.
if you think that they're not going to give the reinstatement, if you do want to stay back, do apply for the change of status right away tomorrow. I'm talking about tomorrow. Okay. If you don't want to apply for the change of status and if you don't want to leave, then you're just taking a chances. Either way, you're taking a chances. I just want you to be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, like, is it possible for me to apply the reinstatement, or shall I go with the lawyer for tomorrow? Like, is it possible for me to apply?
Yes.
For the reinstatement, you do need I-20 from the school.
1040.
Yes. After getting the I-20, is it possible for me to apply the reinstatement instead of going to the lawyer?
Do reach out to us. We are a full service immigration law firm. Do reach out to us, and we are happy to help. I just want to tell that what options are available. The school may say that they don't even want to give the I-20 because in the beginning they all said yes because they're so used up giving it. Now it's like the top news, right? It's not happening to one student. It's happening to the hundreds and thousands of the people. And the schools are worried and afraid because they themselves don't know that what to do. This is usually the reinstatement is given to something. It is not in control of students. Okay, you got sick, you got something happen in the family, natural disaster, you don't have a money to pay, some reasons, you couldn't come to the class. Those are the reasons usually the service are terminated, and the school is like, okay, let's give the chance. It's not student did it wantedly, it's out of their control. Let's give the new I-20 for a reinstatement. Then we apply for the reinstatement. So they're kind of worried. This is about the criminal check, right? Should we even give the I-20 for these kind of the things? Because it's kind of like, are they in control for these charges? Because they're not the right people to evaluate this. It's beyond their control. So schools are backed up to give the I-20 reinstatement. I don't see not even one school, at least calls we are receiving it, who went and issued at least one I-20 reinstatement in last 4 days.
Ma'am, if I receive the reinstatement I-20 and I file the reinstatement statement and if it got approved, can I pursue my current semester or do I need to start my master's from the fresh start?
You can continue. You don't have to start fresh. You can continue, but I'll tell you one thing, reinstatement takes a lot of time. And during the reinstatement, no working, no doing anything legally here. You're just staying here. You're legally here, but you don't have a status, but you're legally here until you get service, that active, you're just going to be staying legally here, but no status.
Okay, if I get the service reinstatement approved, then I can start my master's, restart it.
Correct.
But it takes time to get approved. Am I right?
Correct.
Thank you very
So
much,
anything immediate action right now, either reinstatement or change of status, is because we don't want you to occur the unlawful presence.
As an F1 student, how can I change my status, or to which status can I change? Can you please explain that?
We went through already. I'm going to explain briefly again. So the change of status is, as you said, that if you get the reinstatement I-20, you can do that. Or the change of status, I mean, that as a F1 student, you may not have anybody, but some of you might have already a spouse who is on the H1B, who is on the F1. Maybe you can become a H4, you can become a F2 as a dependent. Or if you don't have any options, the only option right now is changing to the B2, which is change of status as a visitor, even though it's called as a visitor, but you could use for a lot of reasons. In your reason is because it was a sudden, you don't have a time to leave right away. You're requesting the government to give some time so you can stay back legally. Okay. All this change of status, you can't just apply the change of status. You have to apply with the non-proton, which is like telling that this is beyond your control. You don't know that this is coming, and there is a gap. Some people may have a 1 day gap, some people may have a 4 days gap, some people may have a 1 week gap. We are requesting the government, even that gap can be covered with a non-proton, telling that when you do approve this change of status, then I-94 should come starting from the April 3rd, not from the day one you applied. So we are requesting so many things in the same application. It's important how you approach that. Okay. And there is also a small hope while the status is pending. There may be some lawsuits, right? Who are actually filing it for the charges which were dismissed, or the charges which are not comes under the inadmissible for the visa. Hopefully that lawsuit gets approved. I mean, that get positive impact, and hopefully everybody who is on change of status can go back to the F1. There is a small hope. And also caution. I'm sorry? Maybe you can mute all of them.
Yeah,
So,
Srini, yeah.
So,
you're on mute అండి.
మధురిమ గారు ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగండి.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So this is very, very important. Again, I'm cautioning everyone, if you do want to stay back, if you want to leave as soon as you can. Please don't occur the unlawful presence. At least you have opportunity to come back when you're ready to get your H1B or other F1, or maybe it takes time. We don't know what the situations are going to be. But if you do want to stay back, please, please, please do the change of status right away. Don't risk yourself. Don't get to the deportation orders. Don't get to the removal proceedings. Don't get to the detention. I don't think it's worth it to have all those things.
When we change our status, does that mean that during the time that there's an adjustment period between, say, an F1 and a B1 or B2, is the person at risk at that time, or is it okay for them to stay in the country while they're changing their status to a different visa category?
So obviously, there's two different things, right? You don't want to get the unlawful presence. That's the reason we are requesting everybody to do the change of status. That's one thing. The other thing is, just based on your charges, which you got the service termination, is the ICE is also going to react on that. That has nothing to do with this. Your change of status is to maintain your status. Just applying the maintaining of status doesn't mean the ICE is not going to get you.
So you're still at risk, that means, while you're pending.
You're always in risk. Everybody is in risk. At this point, at this hour, even the green card holders and citizens are in risk.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Any F1 questions? I really, really want to focus on F1. So the other thing also, while you prepare your questions, let me tell you this one. And I've been urging everybody from Thursday, when there is a probable cause like this, we stop doing the paid consultations. We don't even do the paid consultations because my heart belongs to the community. I really want to get this out. I want to make sure that you guys are at least safe and at least get the minimum information. What I know, I want to share with you. Okay. So I want to tell you, there will be a lot of pop-up business with this. There may be people telling you, hey, we're going to give you new I-20, okay? And they will sell you for $10,000. Please don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's not about the school. I just want you guys to understand this is not about the school. This is about the administration. This is about the agency of the Department of Homeland Security. If the service is terminated, just changing the school and getting the new I-20 doesn't mean that your service is going to get back. Okay, if anybody tell that, hey, don't worry, I'm going to get you a new I-20 here, there, so they're going to give you I-20 reinstatement. No, it doesn't work like that. Please don't fall for it. Okay, and there may be people, I'm talking about non-attorneys, even like there is a lot of notarios, lot of online businesses, whoever don't have authorization as a lawyers, also going to tell that, hey, apply this, apply that, asylum, U visa, married to the US, this, that, and all those things. Just be careful. I know that you're already in going through it's a shock, right? You didn't know that this is going to be happening. Make sure that what you're doing right and go to the right authorization person. It's very, very important. You maintaining the status is most important, because even if you leave now, you have to know that you can safely come back in the future. That's the goal. So I do want to caution these two things.
So, Madhurima Garu, so what you are suggesting that whoever, having the service terminated, I think it is better whether if they have any chance to get it back or leave the country to come back again.
It's very hard at this point to say that, I mean, if you're leaving the country, obviously you're leaving right away, hoping that you're not getting any unlawful status, right? You're not adding your days towards 180 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll come back. Hopefully, even though visa got revoked, hopefully for next visa, maybe they're not to since your charges are dismissed, hopefully they will consider the next visa, hoping that this is dismissed. We don't know how the next thing is going to happen. The whole point is, as attorney, I'll tell you, a lot of these charges are not supposed to be cause for the service termination, but they did it. My thing as an attorney is there should be lawsuits, and there will be lawsuits, because a lot of these charges should be under the list of the inadmissible charges.
Do you aware of any class action lawsuit?
Not yet. There's a lot of talks are happening. I'll definitely post it on there, but nothing yet came. I really hope the ACLU or somebody, Saba, somebody will be started. But we are talking with a lot of organizations. Nothing yet came out.
Okay.
Hey, this is Suresh, Srini.
Yeah.
Hello, Madam Garu, this is Suresh. So I have one question. If somebody wants to change the status F1 to F2 or F1 to H4 dependent, what is the typical cost they're looking for in terms of
I don't talk about the attorney charges. It varies from everybody. If they want to know our charges, they can call us. But if you do apply, it's $420 for the USCIS, or if you want to do the paper filing, it's $470. Good thing is it's available online. I encourage everybody to do it as soon as you can online today.
Okay.
I do have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Will they get a receipt in 2 weeks, similar to when
No,
you
you get the receipt right away. That's the reason we want you to do it.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
With respect,
we are open on the weekend just for this reason, and we have so many of this doing right now.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I do have a question. Just a quick question. If I'm on F1 OPT right now, I am working, and I don't want to be like I need to work for just 1 year. Is it okay? And now I got that service termination. Is it okay to work for this 1 year without changing anything, or like applying for reinstatement, and to stay here for 1 year, and we can go back to our own country?
You got the service termination?
Yeah.
Why is it okay? I don't know if you're listening to me. Need to stop right now.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
I have a question with respect to leaving the country. If you're choosing to leave and your CVIS record has been terminated, in your experience, is it recommended to use the CBP Home app to report the self-deportation? And I know it's a very new app, so the risks are not yet as prominent, but is that recommended so that, no one comes looking for you, or should you just quietly leave?
I mean, that they have the records. You can just quietly leave. I mean, that you're not doing anything wrong here, you know?
Yeah.
Right. So say we got the CVIS termination on Friday. We've been dealing with different, immigration lawyers since then, and we book a flight to go home tomorrow. Is that feasible, or should we be nervous?
No, I mean that you're leaving the country, you're not staying back. They have only concerns if you're staying back or if you're re-entering it. But if you're leaving it, I don't see a problem there.
If you are taking that decision, I think you are going to clean, your record actually. You're having a clean record. So when your most chances are, coming back is good.
That is also
Just
depend
on the
upon how
situation.
this whole charges are going to be taken
Currently
up for the next
banned
visa at the consulate.
Bro, could you please mute your thing?
I know some of you are asking about my contact information. I'm just going to put my contact information here.
I think, Pathuri garu, two more things. Everybody needs to remember that if you committed any violation of law, whether it is small or big, if you know DUI or any domestic or any theft, any of the criminal charges, there already, I think it is better you leave the country.
See, but the thing is, the hope for the lawsuit is a lot of them got dismissed. A lot of them have a lot of other reasons that they're not even the crimes under this thing. But I mean that it's all depend upon what's your goal for the future. Also, it matters while they're resolving because there is all these developments will take time.
Yeah.
It's not like overnight anybody is trying to stop these things.
I will tell you the case. In Miami, the Chrome Detention Center, 5 people are waiting. This gentleman, he went to Bahamas with his parents and he's coming back. He got stopped and they told him, your visa got, revoked. He don't know, his employer don't know his visa got revoked. There was a charge DUI 4 years back and it is cleared. Then they told only one thing, you have a DUI in your past record. So that's why your visa got terminated and we arrested you. So he's in Chrome's detention center in Miami right now. The attorneys are working on that case. So that's why if you are aware of that, before you get into, these kind of situations, if you are aware, if you are involved in these kind of charges, previously, it is better, to take care right now.
What about the driving violation? Speeding?
Everything, if you got the service, it's not about that are two things, right? Are you being aware? One thing, if somebody got already terminated, this all happened on Thursday. Did you got terminated is the first question. It's not about the charge anymore. We're not discussing about the charges anymore. You got the termination. What are your options right now?
Okay, I didn't get any termination.
Okay, and you got dismissed?
No. I have a traffic violations 2 years back. I'm planning to go to India next month. So
I mean that regardless you're F1 on what status right now, I'm telling
H1B.
everybody, unless there is a need, don't travel anybody.
Yep. So means I got your point. Small, violations are okay, but not that one. If criminally charged, then you are in trouble. If criminally charged, then that is the violation and not followed the law. So that's even if you are in a green card holder or if you are in a L1, H1B, that one you are going to be in trouble with this filter.
Yep. So any questions on the F1? I really, really want to focus on the F1s.
Just a small question. So when I'm driving a car and if a cop caught us and they can know our status that our visa is revoked.
Yeah, all these departments could share the information. Yes.
Okay. Because I'm not supposed to drive the vehicle, right? If my visa is revoked.
I mean that if you have a valid license, why
Yeah,
not?
I have a valid license, so my visa is revoked yesterday, and if I get caught up, And if they ask for
It's
the license,
depend.
then
Are
if they
you
do
are you
that,
going to maintain the status? Are you in the change of status? You
yes,
need to
no,
look
no,
into
no,
that.
I'm not trying to change my status, but I'm trying to file a reinstatement thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Anything pending is fine.
Okay. So
Sridhar, I'm
I
trying
can
to put
survive.
this information
So
here.
I can survive with the reinstatement by filing the case, and I can even drive here and there, and I can say that I have reinstated the case. If they insist that my visa is revoked, then I can say that I have reinstated. So legally, they can't take me into custody, right? If
No,
I
no,
start the
no,
reinstatement.
no guarantees. No
No
guarantees.
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 Okay, thank you.
So having already charged with something like a removal or a revocation is different to the trying to maintain the status. We are only trying to asking you to maintain the status because you didn't stop it by any agency yet, other than your service got terminated. That means that you don't have any status right now. Okay. We want to recover your status to see that hopefully that gets approved or gives time to for you. If something can change, then you can go back to the F1. I'll tell you, even we are giving this option, very, very, very few people are choosing this option because people are not sure, right? Even like nobody can give a guarantee that it's going to get approved or it's going to be okay for them to go back to the F1, including the reinstatement. Okay. So you want to take a chance, you want to take a chance, you want to take a chance for a few months, 1 month, or maybe you're not ready to leave right now. Maybe you want to leave in a couple of weeks. You do have to do the change of status, even if you decided to leave after 2 weeks, right? This is the reason you have to do it is in case if you're trying to come back, you don't want to count these days against to you because you do have to fill out in the DS 160, whatever the visa you're going in the DS 160, did you ever overstayed? Okay, all have to think for the future. But if you want to leave, anybody, some of them in the group tell that they are ready to leave. Please do leave as soon as you can. But if you think that you need a time to think about it, or maybe reinstatement, or maybe you have a spouse, maybe you have somebody who could do the change of status and want to stay back, please do. But do it as soon as you can with a non-protest, asking the USCS to issue the I-94 not from today, from the day you got terminated. So you're requesting back. That request is very, very important.
Ma'am, if I was on F1, and I just got the service termination, and for refiling the reinstatement of service, if my institution is okay to issue the reinstate I-20, then I will file the reinstatement of my service, right?
Correct.
Then I will get in some prohibition period, something like 60 days or something, whatever. When the case is pending like 6 months or something, I will be legally staying in
Correct.
the US.
Correct.
Then if I marry someone who is willing to marry me, that she is on F1, she is my girlfriend. If I marry her here in between these days, will I be eligible to get F2 or something like that, or?
Yep. Possibility. It's also again we are looking back into the charges.
Okay, the charges was the criminal charges and that haven't been proved yet. And my attorney told me like it will be going to dismiss because there is no certain approvals and no what you call
Yeah,
it.
remember also I was telling you earlier, most of the cases which is service got terminated and who has charges, they're all got dismissed, but still the service got terminated, right?
Yeah.
So including yourself, it is not proven, but it still got terminated, you know. So the same thing they could apply for the F2, but the goal is like we are prolonging this one until somebody is going to put the stop on these kind of the things.
Okay, if my institution doesn't allows me to give the reinstated I-20, and if I marry her on F1, will that be okay, or it will be the same scenario? It depends.
Immediately do the B2. If circumstances changes in the future, you can do always the F2, but immediately get on something right now.
Okay, the best way is you suggest the B2?
Yeah, if you don't have any option right now, we don't want to think about that tomorrow. Okay, I don't even want to think about today evening. If you have something terminated, your choices is you want to leave the country or you want to stay. You want to stay, do apply something.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other F1 questions? And I did posted our contact here in case if somebody is trying to reach out.
Yeah, so it's not specifically F1 question, but it's about the speeding ticket. So how serious those speeding tickets are from like 3 years, 6 years, or 10 years back?
See, almost everybody, if not every single person, had a speeding ticket, right? It's a human thing, So, yeah, speeding ticket is never a inadmissible thing for the visa. That's what I've been telling from past hour. It shouldn't even been coming for the service termination. But guess what? The agency took it on that, So you could be any non-immigrant visa, it's coming in there. Okay. The goal and the hope is somebody is going to put stop on these kind of things. Hopefully they didn't go after them. But it looks like it's going to definitely take a time to get into that point. Until then, anybody can come under the radar for now. So I will say that no. For your question, the answer is simply no. But we are already seeing in reality that it is happening. Visas are getting revoked for that.
And they do send emails when the visa is revoked, or we need to check something.
You can check in the CEAC website, CEACA, based on your case number, which is a visa stamping. And but most of them or almost everybody will get an email from the consulate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think that we really covered the most important topic, which I really want to get out this one from Thursday. And thank you, Srinigari, for accepting my offer on this and wanted to spread this word out, And you are doing excellent job spreading this word in the groups and everything. I hope I answered most of the questions. And a lot of them are not 100%, but at least we try to get the information as much as we know. If there is any developments happen, I'll post in the group. We'll have the one more seminar or webinars like this, But do reach out to any attorney if you need it. You don't have to reach out only to us, but try to get the help. And also, if you do decide it, do be careful, be safe, know your rights, know how to talk, or when you do talk to the agencies or the any border patrol or even the police in Florida, especially even the local police can act for the ICE, right? So anybody can ask you any questions, okay? And what you talk, what you say is everything is written and recorded. So be careful what you talk, how you talk, and do carry all your IDs all the time. Know your rights and just be safe.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have a question. I mean, initial OPT, my OPT was approved in February 2025. Recently, my H1 also got picked. So I actually received a revocation email last day, like Friday. What can I do in this situation?
So, I mean that again, I'm going to repeat this again. You can do the change of status to the H1B, but the H1B is not going to be valid until October 1st, right? There's no cap gap in between. The people who are looking for the cap gap, there is no cap gap once the SEB is terminated. Okay? So hope is do the change of status with the non-proton for the B2 right now. Whenever you want to file the H1B, you file the H1B with the B2 receipt with the H1B package, and hoping that they're not going to look at the charges, the same charges which got terminated, going to terminate the H1B. We don't know exactly the trend yet. Since you are still in the country, there is no visa is needed. So the change of status, hoping that it will go okay without having any issues. Okay?
I have a question. So this year,
Srinigar, can you put them on mute, please? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so this year was my last year for H1B, and my EAD expires on June 20. Um, and I was thinking of taking day one CPT, and because I do have a job right now, and I was thinking of enrolling in a college and then continuing for the next year's H1B, or if there is a second pick in October. What do you think my
So let me ask you
chances
this
should be?
first question, because the conversation right now about the termination. Do you have any service termination right now, or is it general question?
So, my visa expires in September 1st.
Sorry, sir,
And
I'm going to ask you a question again. Okay.
yeah,
Is your service terminated or active right now?
oh, it's active.
Okay. So this is a general question. It's not about the topic right now. Okay. So your general question is about the CPT something.
Yeah, exactly.
So you wanted to wait to see that you get picked in the second lottery?
Yeah. So, do you think it's a good option to go with a second master's?
We never encourage. I mean that you can do the second master's, third master's, PhDs, anything. I mean that we attorneys, we usually don't encourage anybody having the day one CPTs. That's it. Almost every time there is RFPs on that.
Yeah, I mean, in case I stop, but what if I complete the whole course, and which is actually I'm interested in, would would it be a problem down the lane when I get picked for H1B?
It
Will
shouldn't
I?
be a problem. No.
No, right? Okay, okay, got it, got it. But
Okay.
the RFE which you were talking about,
I think that it's a very personal. I think that we can discuss on that. I really want to focus on the terminations right now, if that's okay.
sure, sure, sure. Yeah, no, no worries, no worries. Yeah.
Any termination questions? Any students who needs help?
Yeah, thank you, Madhurima Garu, for taking time and making awareness in the community, so who are in problems. And we request everybody, please follow whatever the Madhurima Garu gave suggestions, and also whoever staying now, please follow legal rules, land of law. Okay, please follow all the rules and stay safe. If you have any issues, please reach out to Madhurima Garu for advice. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srini.